again, we're not pitting success where we have success in the marketplace and success at life against each other. There's not this either or. We're talking about both and we're really communicating a very robust definition of what success is that includes life and the marketplace.
Are you one of the untamed few? Hey, I'm Joel. This is Mark. And we're working on becoming untamed men. What's an untamed man look like, Mark?
An untamed man, Joel, has a deep sense of understanding that they have clarity.
Yeah.
There's been an awakening, and they've got clarity.
They're awake, they've got clarity, they're courageous, and they're on their path of purpose, right? Purpose is such a big deal for us. I mean, we believe that each one of us is created with a true essence and a purpose and a calling for our lives, and we want to help men get on that path of purpose.
And the process is to wake up and to truly stop drifting and to join us.
You got it?
On this untaming
adventure,
right? This untaming life.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So join us, and we've got 5 untamings we want to take you guys through. It's a process that definitely will show results in your life, and so we're looking forward. Come and join us in the adventure.
We'll see you there.
Yeah. Your definition of success sucks. Now, that may be a little bit offensive, but we're pretty serious. And I'm here with Mark Lucas, and we're going to talk some about that. And maybe if that was offensive to you, you ask yourself a follow-up question. If I'm so successful, then why aren't I happy? I mean, when we think about success, there are different kinds of success, but we lock into just this one idea of what success is. And today, if you'll stick with us till the end, we're going to talk about a much more robust idea of success and how you can redefine that. Your idea of success in order that you can find that fulfillment and purpose in your life that you're looking for. So maybe you think about it like this. You've been to the top of the mountain, but when you got there, what kind of questions were you asking yourself? You're looking for more. You're wanting to find the next thing to be successful at, or you're going, why do I still feel that emptiness? So we're going to talk through that today. Mark, how you doing? I know we got some good stuff we're going to chat about.
I'm doing well. Yeah, you just, again, dropped that bomb right in the beginning, offended everybody, not on purpose. But again, we grabbed their attention, and that's what we want to do. And at the end of the day, this is really a shocking statement, but it's a real statement that we're making in front of ourselves and also in front of the people right now in the untamed few that are with us. And it is shocking for a reason, because again, we're not pitting success where we have success in the marketplace and success at life against each other. There's not this either or. We're talking about both and we're really communicating a very robust definition of what success is that includes life and the marketplace and the career success. And we know that we really do a great amount of relational work with, whether it's consulting or counseling or speaking over the years, Joel, with very successful people. And we love successful people. We want to work, and we are working with successful people. But we love to ask this question because there's this process of identifying that you've been successful. And most of us as men, we define success in the physical. So we look at, do we have the physical strength to be successful in the marketplace and successful at work? And then if we have success within our health and with our body and our nutrition and the durability and stamina we need to be successful in the marketplace, then we think we've kind of arrived on the mountaintop, right? And yet you've really been leaning in, and I've been leaning in as well, to really kind of open guys up to an understanding that there are 5 mountaintops, 5 spheres of being successful. So why don't you lay those out for us, Joel? Because it's a really good evaluation tool that will allow guys to really say, okay, here's some awareness. And here's what I want to say before you do that. It's not a lot more work. I know guys might be hearing this and saying, you know what, Mark, I'm successful at work and my body is able to endure what I need to endure to be able to be successful at work. And I don't know if I have much more energy. You can have both.
Put something on the plate like that, Mark.
Yeah, you can have both. It's not so if you have an ideology and belief right now that it's going to be a lot of work, it's going to take a lot of time. I don't know if I can do this. We're going to shatter all of those right now and just one simple evaluation looking at 5 different areas of success. So why don't you walk us through that, Joel?
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that I'd start that is what you said is just so right on. I kind of look at it as the best of the best, right? We did a podcast recently, Top Gun, Maverick, so good.
Yes.
But when we talk about the best of the best, you who are with us today are probably wanting to be the best at what you do. So ultimately, the idea is that you can be the best of the best in your career, and you can be the best of the best at home, and not just at home, but in life in general. And so that's this idea, is becoming the best of the best at life. But in order to do that, you're going to have to figure out how to look at these other areas, these 5 areas I'm about to tell you about, and figure out which ones need attention at the right time. And that's kind of the key, is paying attention to the right one at the right time. So the ones that we pay most attention to are the physical, because that's just, when we hurt, when we have pain, we don't have energy, then it's hard to do anything. But right. What we want to be successful at most often is our careers. There's a financial reward, etc. So we focus on the career. The body has to support what we want to do there. And then what happens in those is that we get very quick feedback loops. And I think it's important that everybody understands the way that we experience our successes is critical. And so in those areas, if you succeed at work, typically what is going to happen is that you're going to get a pat on the back. You're probably going to get a financial reward. People are going to recognize the owner of the company, or maybe you're the owner of the company and everybody is looking to you. There's some sort of satisfaction that everybody is coming to you and saying, wow, you did it. Thank you. It's helping me. You're the man, all that kind of stuff. Physical is kind of the same way. You go to the gym, you work out for a period of time, you start to feel better. You start to see yourself grow. You start to see your strength increase. And what I'm trying to get at is that feedback, that response loop is very tight on those. But when we get into these other 3 areas, it's not quite the same. And the other 3 areas are spiritual, relational, and mental, emotional. Now, these sorts of things, they don't have the same feedback loop. I mean, I always think about those of us who are married and how our wives respond to us. I mean, we don't do something good and then come home and then our wife is like, "Oh, you did such a good job. Let's go to the bedroom," right?
It's instant feedback, right? Yeah,
instant
correct.
Feedback.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of time that we invest into our relationships with the people that we care about the most, like our wives, our kids, our close friends. And we don't experience some sort of reward for that for some time. In fact, we may not even see it growing, and then all of a sudden it's full grown in front of us. And there's an expression of appreciation shared with us. So those, I'm going to let you talk a little bit with that, but those are the areas, and that's one of the reasons we have a hard time engaging the others, is because we're not thinking properly. We need to develop a better definition of what success is, so we start pushing into those areas and figure out how we're going to create what success looks like in those.
Yeah, it's so true, Joel. And one of the things that we love to help guys with, and we want to help you with, is that there's some real easy tools to be able to get some feedback. But you're right, it's a little bit trickier to find a KPI when it comes to our emotions, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to understanding our intellect and how we're growing intellectually. But there's some easy awareness tools and tools that we have in our tool belt as we do consult and meet with men, to be able to just take one easy step and to be able to identify. And one of those steps that I've mentioned before is just an easy step, and most people have this on their business card at work, is what is your mission statement at home? Again, that's beginning to crystallize clarity around some feedback so you can evaluate how we're doing that. And obviously you come up with that within the home. You don't just origin that by yourself. You collectively have conversations with the people at home about that. But once you know that that's the target, then you begin to take progress and growth towards that target, and you begin to grow towards that target. I had a couple guys even just this week that I was consulting with, and both guys right now, they're completely depleted emotionally, and they really haven't even looked at their emotions and who knows how long. I mean, they both were very honest. Like, Mark, I don't even know if a guy has asked me the question in maybe years, how are you doing emotionally? So we have to be able to take inventory and to be able to look at the emotions. The reality is that, and the number's crazy, I don't know if I've ever experienced 2,000 emotions, but there's 2,000 emotions. I mean, most guys are like, I'm angry. Yeah, that's a lot of emojis. I know.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know. It's like, I mean, guys are like, I'm angry, I'm happy. I don't know, I'm angry again, I'm happy. Like, we have like 2 that we kind of rotate back and forth. Right. But as we begin to have a higher emotional IQ, and that's what I was telling these 2 guys this week, we begin to kind of process and integrate some steps to have some maturity and growth around that. And that's going to help relationally at home for us to be able to process what we're thinking and feeling on the inside. And then another one of the guys that I met with this week, he really hasn't been able to grow intellectually. So he hasn't stimulated himself in his mind in quite some time. And to be able to renew your mind and to be able to kind of lean it again to that spiritual, which obviously is connected to that, which I think you'll probably end us out with talking about the spiritual. But even that spiritual and that mind is connected in that, because renewing your mind is looking at the spirit and looking at our faith, and to be able to renew our mind and grow in understanding of the truths that really God has given us. But we've got to be able to say, okay, when you look at all five, the last thing that I'll say is this, is that we want to just have a better balance. You're not going to be able to look across all five and be even across all the kind of like fullness meter values. Some will be higher than others, but at the end of the day, here's what's going to happen. When you're more balanced across, you're going to have more of a holistic contentment and fulfillment, have more purpose and meaning when you grow in all five areas. So some will be higher than others, but it's really just growing all of the different levels up in all five of the tanks, which give you more hope, which give you more meaning and significance, which is really a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you're saying this so well, Mark. I mean, what we're all looking for is not just a success in a career. We're looking for that meaning and purpose. We're looking for happiness. And happiness is going to elude us as long as we're hyper-focused on one particular area and not paying attention to the others, because we are relational beings. We are spiritual beings. And as you notice, I'm saying beings. So we have a tendency to focus on the doing. And you and I like to talk about a human being versus human doing. Because it just is a weird, like kind of a funny sounding way to highlight the fact that when we concentrate on just what we're doing, it's kind of like a shell of a person, because we exist in a being sense. And, are we a spiritual being, or are we just some physical thing that does tasks and accomplishes things on earth? So there's so much more to it. But again, you started talking about the balance in the five areas. And I want to encourage people to realize that you're not going to be a perfect 10 in all five areas at the same time. Because if you think about it, even when you're having a physical win, maybe that's a very easiest one to look at in this. You're having a win and you feel really good, and then boom, you injure a tendon or something and it sets you back. It's not that you're trying to be a 10 in all areas. That's not where you get to 10 in each area and all of a sudden you're magically happy. That's not how it works. It's basically redistributing your effort to make sure that you're paying attention to all of them, and that you are starting to recognize the importance of forming up spiritual habits and forming up relational habits that are serving the purpose of maturing you, growing you in those particular areas. And that's what's going to make all the difference in the world. And we even, when we look at these five spheres with people, we ask them what the goals are, what the hopes are, and then ask them what they should be doing. And the amazing thing is they oftentimes have the answers. I mean, I'm working with one guy right now. It's just such a wonderful illumination process. He's super bright guy. And he already knows what he wants. He's just going, oh, I guess what I've done is I've delayed it. I've delayed it because I poured my energy over here, and now I see where I need to redistribute my energy. And then he starts to make forward motion, and he's already getting some good feedback for that. But that's how it is with so many of us. And we want to encourage you guys to pay attention to it. And it being Good Friday right now, I think it's kind of a special thing. Mark and I are paying attention to what we feel is one of the most important days in the entire calendar, because it recognizes a spiritual reality. And we would encourage you today to engage that spiritual side, because you are a spiritual being and you need to be connected in a way with the spiritual that allows you to understand that you are so much more than just what you touch and feel at any given time. And there's so much more, not just now, but even into eternity, that you need to be paying attention to. Because even if you think about it in an investment standpoint, you may be really good at investing here and now. And you may have a great portfolio on earth, but what's your spiritual portfolio look like? So maybe that's a good way to wrap up on a Good Friday.
That's good.
Yeah,
well, we appreciate everybody. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
really do. We appreciate each of you.
Yes,
and
we do.
I know you're watching this on YouTube, so we just ask you to obviously just hit the bell, subscribe. We're going to be creating content at least twice a week. This is a part of the content we create. So thank you, Untamed Few. Have a great Good Friday. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you.
If this episode sparked something in you, please subscribe and even share it with someone who's ready to take their life to the next level. We're always on the hunt for men who are looking to become untamed and release their untamed potential. Also, if you found value in this conversation, then please rate the podcast and leave a comment. It makes a huge impact in building our community. We'll see you next time when the adventure continues, or maybe when yours begins.